You didn't realize it, but before you even took your first sip of coffee this morning, a series of silent, invisible juries had already decided how your day was going to go. They decided which news headlines would greet you. They decided which emails deserved your attention and which should be buried in spam. They even calculated the exact price you'd see for that plane ticket you've been eyeing. In the last decade, we've handed the keys to our civilization to a new kind of authority. It's not a government, and it's not a single person. It's the algorithm. We're told it's faster, smarter, and more objective than any human. But as we move into 2026, the cracks are starting to show. From the interest rate on your mortgage to the medical treatment your insurance will or won't cover, AI is no longer just suggesting things, it's making life-altering calls. Today, we're peeling back the curtain on the black box. We're looking at the AI decisions that affect your life, your wallet, and your freedom. This isn't science fiction anymore, this is your reality. In the United States, the average person interacts with an AI-driven system over 50 times a day. We call it convenience. When you open Google Maps to navigate traffic, an AI is processing trillions of data points to save you a few minutes. When you scroll through TikTok or Instagram, recommendation engines analyze your behavior with surgical precision to keep your attention locked in. But let's look closer at the optimization trap. Have you ever wondered why the person sitting next to you on a flight paid $200 less for their seat? It's called dynamic pricing. AI doesn't just look at supply and demand. It looks at you, your zip code, your device type, your browsing history. It calculates the maximum price you're willing to tolerate before clicking buy. In the AI economy, the fair market price is fading away. The price is whatever the machine believes it can charge you specifically, but the stakes get much higher than the price of a flight. Let's talk about your career. Right now, nearly 90% of Fortune 500 companies use AI-driven applicant tracking systems. These aren't just digital filing cabinets, they are gatekeepers. If your resume doesn't contain the specific markers the AI is trained to recognize, a human being may never see your name. But AI learns from the past. If previous top performers mostly came from certain schools or backgrounds, the system learns to favor those profiles. This is called algorithmic bias. A major tech company once had to scrap its hiring AI because it systematically downgraded resumes containing words associated with women, such as women's clubs or organizations. The system wasn't malicious. It simply reflected historical biases with mathematical efficiency. When an AI decides you aren't a fit, it doesn't explain why. It simply leaves you invisible in a digital void. Perhaps the most personal place AI has taken root is healthcare. And here, it's a double-edged sword. AI can detect diseases earlier than humans, predict medical crises before symptoms appear, and help doctors make life-saving decisions faster. But there is also a darker side. Insurance companies increasingly use predictive algorithms to decide how much care patients receive. In a recent controversy, an insurer was sued for relying on an algorithm that predicted recovery timelines, allegedly pushing coverage to end as quickly as possible. Imagine an elderly patient recovering from surgery. The algorithm predicts recovery in 2 weeks. On day 15, coverage stops, even if doctors say more care is needed. The decision wasn't made by someone who knows the patient. It was made by a system that only sees data. When algorithms override empathy, the cost isn't just financial. It's human. For decades, your financial life revolved around a credit score. Today, lenders increasingly rely on alternative data. AI systems may examine behaviors you'd never expect, how you spend, how consistently you pay bills, even patterns connected to your social networks. The idea is to predict responsibility. But problems arise when algorithms label someone risky based on indirect associations or past data patterns. This can create cycles that are hard to escape. Higher perceived risk leads to higher interest rates, making repayment harder, which in turn worsens financial standing. The machine doesn't see why hardship happened. It only records outcomes. And in a system where credit determines access to homes, cars, and opportunities, errors can have lifelong consequences. Perhaps the most alarming use of AI appears in the justice system. Courts in parts of the United States use risk assessment tools to help judges decide bail and sentencing outcomes. These systems predict the likelihood of someone committing future crimes based on historical data. But if past policing practices were uneven, those patterns become embedded in the algorithm's decisions. Communities that were historically over-policed appear riskier in the data, and residents from those areas may face harsher predictions, regardless of individual circumstances. We risk automating yesterday's inequalities into tomorrow's decisions. And when a decision is based on an opaque algorithm, how do you challenge it? How do you question a model whose workings are hidden behind corporate secrecy? It's easy to feel powerless, but the story of AI isn't finished. Awareness is growing. People are beginning to ask hard questions about how automated systems shape their lives. Governments and organizations are exploring ways to protect citizens from algorithmic harm. The goal isn't to eliminate AI. That's neither possible nor desirable. The goal is transparency and accountability. If a machine makes decisions about our lives, we should understand how those decisions are made and have access to human review when needed. These systems should assist humanity, not replace human judgment. For thousands of years, human destiny was shaped by kings, laws, and eventually the will of the people. Now we are entering the era of automated decision-making. Technology reflects what we build into it. If we embed bias, it amplifies bias. But if we demand fairness and accountability, it can become a powerful tool for progress. The next time you see a recommendation, a denial, or a notification, pause for a moment and look beyond the screen. The algorithm knows a great deal about you. It's time we all start learning more about it. Because in the age of AI, the most important decision-making tool is still you.